Guys, look for you.
What was that?
Oh, hi, how's it going?
What was that? Should I take those screen again?
Nothing. No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you think so?
Even if you speak with the best house, no.
Okay, candy. Have some cookies. It's the most grandma thing ever done with
I don't know if this is smart or not.
Oh no.
I don't know if that's 2023 or 20.
It's 2023.
Okay. What's some
2018. That would be wild. It's 2023. It's the stuff from ConOps, basically.
No.
It's what we've all been eating. So.
Nothing.
Thank you.
No problem. I pulled it out of ConOps today, and I was eating some of them. So. Oh, it's stiff now.
I was just like, I want to dye my hair before I leave.
Sure for how hot this room is. Yeah, it's not terrible. Yeah, it's not terrible. Everybody's all right.
That's a big lad.
Come on in. What do you see? Come on in. I just keep the mask on, right? Yeah, it's not a
I'm gonna run this and make sure it doesn't turn off, basically. What time is it? 5:29, we're close. Oh my God. That is wild. Hello, Cleveland. Heart empty, that's a mood.
Yeah. Come on in. Come in. Yeah, what's up? The instance loading has completed. Oh, yeah. I think we're ready. Okay. Yeah. Ready? Good. Good. Everybody good? Okay.
We got rolling.
Ladies and gentlemen, everyone in between and beyond, welcome to Frontal Equinox's first ever VR chat intro and meet and greet panel. Somebody want to poke their head out real quick to see if anybody else is trying to get in? No? 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 Okay,
Cool.
good. This instance is capped. Go to the next one. So, how many here have never played VR chat before, or maybe are coming back from an extended break, or do play VR chat, but maybe want to see what else is out there other than mirror dwelling all day long? Show of hands. Okay, fair numbers, fair numbers. So, this is mBlade, creator of Tailbase, and volunteer for the Frontal Equinox virtual team. Yeah. Back there is Lilithe Lotor, who is the team leader for the Frontal Equinox virtual team. Also responsible for designing all of Frontal Equinox's virtual worlds, including a recreation of the Western Harbor Castle and its medieval version. If you went to the portal today, you saw that work firsthand.
I would love to say that Nick Starr, who is actually at the convention this year, did a lot of work on it. And there's another person, 1Kili2 from Spain, who helped us as well this year. Thank you so much.
Yes. This was a massive team effort, but not only the portal together, but to build the world and even put this panel together. Along with our team, it also includes TJ Coyote, a resident of New Jersey who was the mastermind behind our original presentation, and Chief, who runs the Fluffy Furry Friends, an international group of furs from all over the world out of Pennsylvania. Welcome to our presentation. So, for those of you who are new to VR Chat or just learning about what VR Chat is, it is essentially a massive social gathering and gaming platform. It is hosted on Steam for free. You do not need a VR headset in order to play. You can play in what is called desktop mode, very similar to playing first-person shooter. But if you want to get a more immersive experience, then you can buy VR headsets. It's an opportunity to meet people, to socialize, to show off your creativity through building your own worlds, building your own avatars. Those who suffer from access issues or social anxiety or other things that might limit their ability to interact with people face-to-face or otherwise can find some relief in playing VR chat. For a number of people, it's more than just a video game or some chat room somewhere. Lilithe, want to talk about some of the headsets?
Yeah, I guess so. There's a lot of headsets out there, I guess, as you guys only know. We're still waiting for the index killer, right? For the next version. It's getting pretty old. Right? You know, like I got mine. It's like it feels like it's. I don't want to break it. You know. Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of cool stuff that's coming out there, but Gus Pro maybe. Some people got it, but the eye tracking, face tracking was pretty appealing. Yeah. So. You know, but apparently it doesn't have tongue tracking. You know, that's a software update, but still, I guess, right? So, you know, they're almost there. But a lot of people use different headsets. I started off with literally the Kickstarter reward Oculus Rift CV1.
Wow.
Like, my friend just came by, he got it. He's always a Kickstarter. He's like, mBlade, like, I don't know what to do with this thing. Like, I'm too busy. Just drops it on my doorstep. Back in like 2015, so I go, okay, cool. I played Elite Dangerous for a while, and then funny, I think I was watching Shiba Squad. You know, but anyway, that was my first headset, and I actually loved it. Like, those guys knocked it out of the park, you know, with that design. Never actually played, never used HTC or anything. Who here has HTC headset?
I have the original Vive.
Oh, yeah?
Was using it until it broke recently.
My backup is my HTC. Oh, your backup, yeah. But who here's no index? Holy cow. What was that, Dad? You keep the lights on at Valve headquarters, right? How many has there had the index break?
Would you cut the strap on?
Mine didn't break yet.
Controllers.
Cables and 5
Oh,
controllers.
really? Yeah. Yeah. So, how about Quest 2? Who else Quest 2? Wow, hey, wow.
Hey Blake, how you doing,
That's awesome. Yeah, I just Quest 2 was wild from away from home. I just virtual desktop into it. I'm still blown away. I always thought like over the air, tracking is kind of lame, but it's actually really good. You know? Like, especially when I parsec, not parsec, virtual desktop, like 1,000 kilometers to my gaming computer. You know, like I'd rather suffer the latency of my hands versus like downloading everybody in the club. You know. Yeah. So to Quest 2, you guys use virtual desktop then? You know, or Link?
Yeah.
Airlink, yeah.
Virtual desktop.
Oh yeah. Who's here? Pimax. Who's a Pimax user? Oh.
Oh,
8K.
big spender.
5K max. How you like it?
It's okay, I still use Index.
Oh. Well, the same friend who's a Kickstarter guy, Alexi, he came by with an 8KX. I literally unplugged my index and put his in, and base station and everything still works, you know. And you know what?
Be careful there, you're on my tripod.
And there's too much blur on the peripheral, even though it's wide vision that I couldn't get it. I would spend an hour fiddling with it, you know. So yeah, I mean, Pimax is they're very radical. I like to see if they can actually finally make an index killer, you know. But we'll see, you know. But yeah, I mean, the Quest Pro. I mean, who has Quest Pro then? Oh, you do.
Nice.
All right.
Wow, good for you. Yeah, here the hand tracking is amazing because of cameras now, controllers. So you don't have to worry about booting your headset. So yeah. Okay.
That's
How
a
about full body
fan.
tracking? Who's all that? Yeah. Okay. Tundras. Oh yeah. 3.0s.
Yep.
Everybody else, yeah, right on. 2.0s then? Okay, so what else? Okay, besides normal laser tracking, do you guys have slime? Slime. Oh yeah.
I built them myself.
Oh yeah, you built some today?
Yeah.
Wow, good for you. I mean, I do electronics and suits. I mean, you need to buy the parts to do it.
So,
Well done.
did you make the mistake of using the MPU 6050s first? Because I did.
Yeah, I use the really shitty ones.
Yeah.
And they drift a lot, and
My
I'm
hips
really
would
bad
do
at
like a
soldering,
180
so,
eventually, like
Yeah,
just
no,
rotating.
my body,
I don't think
So
there's
what
any,
do you
there's
use
also
after
the
9250?
There's
camera
another one
tracking,
there. It's like a
the
BCM.
Xbox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
PlayStation as well has that.
Really? You got it all. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I never tried one, but I always hear they're very limited. You can't really sit down, I guess.
It's very limited.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You can't cross your legs.
Yeah.
You cannot turn,
You can't turn.
really turn.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm looking forward to those little round from China. I think those little round putts. I forgot what they're called. Yeah. It's like just like slime. Like I'm looking forward to like roll around in your bed and just.
mBlade, what's your wish list for a future headset? Let's hear it.
I was actually I was hoping for a Decagear because they
Oh,
checked
me
up
too.
a lot of boxes in their promises.
Yeah.
I gave them $10 for a pre-order and then they were just quiet. So go figure. I try, you know.
Deca soon.
Yeah. Anyway, you can move on.
Sure. So, for those of you that are still on desktop mode or looking to dabble into VR chat in full, for a more immersive experience, you can go with some of the VR headsets that we've described. The three biggest heavy hitters right now are Facebook, Meta, however you want to call them, the Quest 2, or the Quest Pro, which is their newest iteration, the HTC Vive, which is a good middle-of-the-road headset, and then the Valve Index, which arguably is best in terms of quality, but is also the most pricey and is kind of fragile. But Valve's customer service is pretty good. If something breaks, they will typically replace it, no questions asked. Although there might be a question about warranty and such. If you want to go for an even more immersive experience, you can get the full body trackers like we've been talking about. They are literally small devices using the straps on your ankles, your wrists, your elbows, legs, hips, what have you, for a more immersive immersive demonstration of your movements. Like our friend Box the Right over there dancing at one of the clubs. People will see you do that, provided your tracking is in order.
This actually reminds me of an idea for a Christian panel idea. I should set up a guy full body track standing here, but presenting on the projector, right, as your avatar. That's pretty cool.
You mentioned something about how massive the furry fandom is in VR chat. Yes. Touch on that.
I guess so. Who here was at FWA last year? All right, so you know how big that meet and greet was, eh? Yeah, that was insane. I never seen so many people in one room. It was insane. I'm sure you have figures of them. No. Oh, no. But, yeah, I think we had a couple thousand for sure in the ballroom at FWA. You know, we had some thousand total attendees, so. But yeah, but as furry to fandom, I guess as a whole, yeah, there's, like with Ferality, you see the numbers, our attendee numbers of Ferality, if there's any indication, you know, like from the first Ferality, right beginning FurCon back in 2020, we had like 2,000 to 3,000 people show up for just a FurCon to come out of nowhere in VR. And now Aqua just had like 14,000? 15, yeah. 15,000. Yeah, we'll talk about that later, yeah. But, and we're expecting 20, we're predicting to keep growing like this, right? So that's just people who just go to a VR FurCon. There's like so many more who go into VR chat. It's incredible. You know, the club scenes have got more familiar with this topic now, right? It's literally
The
down
furry
to-
VR club scene.
Right?
We
Yeah.
did it first, right? We did simultaneous live events in VR and, yeah,
Yeah.
before most of the other clubs did it.
We did.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, we're synchronizing club and the VR side, like for at con, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like when I started, I didn't really see any clubs happening, so I decided to, you know, do something for the furry fandom. And something that, here we are still today. Anyway, yeah.
The running joke is that while there are tens of thousands, if not more than that, from the furry fandom in VR chat, the joke is we own the platform. Kind of like how we own Twitter, kind of like how we own Telegram. And the running question is, what is there to do in VR chat? Simple answer is, what do you want to do?
Yes.
Because you can do everything. And if it isn't there, build it. There are other platforms out there such as Neos VR, Chill Out VR. For a time there was Space, which was Microsoft's virtual reality platform, although that did shut down most recently because VR chat really is where it's at when it comes to virtual reality, gaming, socializing, and the like. And as we mentioned, it is available for free on Steam. It's just a matter of literally just downloading it, launching it, boom, you're there, you're in. And as I mentioned, if it doesn't exist, you can build it with tools provided through Blender and Unity, which allow you to build your own world, your own avatar. If you can think it and you can come up with a floor plan, you can make it. Don't be intimidated by the interface. And YouTube is a godsend. It will help you, trust me.
A lot of Discord screen shares going on there.
Yeah.
Right? Just by smart people. Help me.
Commander would know. How long did it take you to learn world development?
So I got started with my building career, if you will, in July of 2022. After I got done hosting a laser tag tournament, I wanted to do something for the hosts that helped me host the instances. Unfortunately, the maker of the arena couldn't do it, so I decided to do it myself. I called a friend who helped me out over the period of 3 months and made a badge for my friends. And then a couple months later, I got the idea that I wanted to stand up my own world, build something that I could use to showcase everywhere I've been, everything I've done. And in about 3 weeks, most of the modeling was done. Because I just threw myself into the interface, I got into the zone. If I didn't know something, I looked up how to solve that on YouTube and found it. Everything from how to curve a wall, or how to retexture a wall or a corner. If you need help fixing it, you will find a solution to it on YouTube. Here.
Who here builds worlds? Wow. And avatars too? Wow, see a lot of creators here, right? Like, holy, like half the room basically. It's just amazing how we were just given the tools to do anything. We're literally given tools to make CGI movies, and we're putting this into VR, you know? It's insane.
Interesting that you mentioned that. I'm going to touch on that when we get to talking about cons and other assets. But yeah, remind me about the movies. But I want to talk about the experiences from VR chat. There are those who have the experience of phantom touch or phantom sense. That is particularly, yeah. Who else practices that or or experiences those sensations when they play.
I'll remember that next time, Eddie.
There you go.
Hey, yo.
VR chat has been known to heighten those senses. There are some who feel that when they play VR chat or they participate in VR chat, it's almost like being inside somebody else's mind or somebody else's body. When you look down in the VR headset, when you lift your hand, you don't see your human hand. You see the hand of whatever you are embodying. Those who are pursuing getting fursuits or are looking for an alternative to fursuits, when they look down, they see their persona in the headset. And it becomes something of a displacement, if you will, a disconnection from reality or an alternative reality that people experience through VR chat. There's no need to mirror dwell anymore because VR chat gives you a sense of belonging no matter where you go.
In your personal mirror.
In your personal mirror.
There are also some people who believe that when they play VR chat, they get so immersed with it that it becomes a sort of dream, or they forget that it's virtual.
Yep. If we drop a drink on the table that's not there.
Exactly. I have put my fist against the trophy case a couple of times.
You know, one thing that really got me is when I had the Quest 2, I only intentionally used it just for virtual desktop, but I tried the native for a little bit. And that, wow, that
It's so cool.
was technology leap that blew me away. Like, yeah, I tried the index hand control, it's cool, but when you can physically do this with your paws in VR, that felt like a fursuit to me. Like, wow, you know?
It is a revolutionizing experience.
I heard index cameras are doing that now, somebody made a mod,
Yes.
right? I want to try that at some point.
Same.
We will touch on mods because we do have to make comment on those. Those of you who are aware of what happened last year, yeah, we'll definitely respond to that. We will take questions once we're done. We just want to process through this, of course.
Ask if we're going to be meeting and greeting during this meeting and greeting.
Yes,
Yes.
we absolutely will.
Yeah, right now I move chairs or whatever, we
Yes,
just chat,
yeah, we certainly will.
you know. We'll see what we can do.
So these here, we were talking about creative tools and worlds and assets that you could design. All of these screenshots come from an art gallery on VR Chat called VR Art, A New Place by Great Moon Aroma. All of these are 3D, built in the art gallery. From a charging horse to a whale exploding out of the ocean, upending a ship, or a swirling tornado, or deer caught in the headlights at a checkpoint. This one here definitely speaks to me. This piece is called Fireman's Prayer, and the detail might be a little lost, but it is a blazing inferno and a fireman holding a little girl trapped. The fireman has removed his breathing apparatus and has placed it on the little girl's face as he mouths what could be his last words. So as we mentioned, VR Chat at one core is a video game, but obviously it is a more immersive video game. There are numerous game worlds out there, marketplaces, groups, hubs, you name it, there's probably some organization out there that plays games on a regular basis. Me personally, I host VR Chat games every Thursday night, 6 p.m., and I broadcast to multiple communities. And it's open invitation, anybody can play. We do games like Among Us. Before Among Us was Among Us independent of VR Chat. The skeleton was reconstructed in striking detail, to the point that you could have a friend walk up to you and say, "Hey Chevron," and then a knife punches into your back while you're working on the memory game, trying to reactivate the reactor. We also do games like Murder 4, which is essentially a murder mystery game. Bystanders have to identify who the murderer is and find clues to revealing his identity, while a detective runs around with a revolver. The theme changes every holiday year, so that revolver is going to get a red nose and antlers for Christmas time. There is also Laserdome, which is one of the ultimate laser tag arenas for VR Chat, designed by a gentleman named Cyrix, part of Cyrix Media. He is also responsible for creating Fate of the Earblast, which is a space survival game, and Avi Wars. Who played Worms in the old days? Avi Wars is a faithful recreation of that in a hybrid 2D, 3D system. When you drop into the world, you have a gauntlet that allows you to select certain weapons and tools and launch them at your opponents. Last team standing wins. And before I launch to the next phase, everybody's contribution to the fandom is important and it has an impact. No matter how small you think you are influencing people, you are influencing the fandom. You are helping the fandom grow both online and offline in an amazing way. Your presence here in this room helps support this con and VR Chat. The communities that you play games with help those communities grow. And for that, you all deserve this. The DJs we listen to, the clubs that we play in, the games that we play would be nothing without the attendees, the fans, the patrons, and everybody who shows up. That said, there are a number of people that we would like to acknowledge throughout this presentation. Firstly, this operator has been a member of the Laser community since pretty much the very beginning. She has won multiple tournaments back to back. Ladies and gentlemen, Nanaka Bun. These games get very intense. The last time I dropped into the world that was based on the Tron light cycle bags. You can see the screenshot here. That's Lilithe Lotor de-resing an opponent, by the way, making him slam headfirst into a wall. If you've ever played Snake, or if you've ever seen Tron Legacy, you can ride those bikes.
I'm also in the crowd, by the way, if you look for it.
Yeah, so am I. You can get in the crowd and, go nuts with the Mexican wave. One person that I played Tron Light Cycle game with commented to me, I can feel the battle in my blood. Another person said, I'm standing in my room having an adventure. If that doesn't speak to the power of this platform, frankly, I don't know what does. There are even classic game show worlds like Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune. There is one person in the audience that specializes in those on a regular basis. My friend, who I met last year, Leo Nakazuki. Can you describe to us in brief maybe what it's like to be up on stage as a gaming contestant? Is the experience the same as what you'd see on TV, or is there something different to it?
It's kind of been a both, actually. I mean, yeah, you see obviously on TV the game shows and all that. Obviously, in the real world, there are actually certain audition processes you have to go through, like sign a lot of forms and everything. You have to go through certain mock trials and all that, like the Wheel of Fortune, for example. Like, they have to go through a lot of customs and everything. A lot of contestants, they go through, like, picking certain kinds of people and whatnot. In virtual reality, all you gotta do is, like, join in and, like, be a part of the community. If you're lucky, like, to be, like, chosen randomly or something like that, you can obviously just go up and you can be able to take part in the community. Or you can even, like, launch your own instance, just spin the wheel just for the heck of it by yourself, because you can do that.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun.
Beautiful. So as I mentioned before, VRChat also offers a lot of opportunity to socialize. Those who feel like they have difficulty making friends, or even going to in-person conventions or in-person meets like this one, will definitely find some relief. Those who have difficulty finding the motivation to exercise will find some relief in VRChat. There are groups out there called VR Fitness and Biking, which actually has people put the headset on and start doing stretches, push-ups, sit-ups, exercise, aerobics, maneuvers, what have you. That right there, on the far right, is Sora the Psych, one of the morality officers, leading a morality detail and doing some stretches. There are also worlds for sleeping and relaxation. There are people that have put the headset on, found a quiet, chill-out world, and then just going right to bed. Because they find they can get better sleep in VR than in the real world, believe it or not. There are even groups out there that specialize in teaching international sign language. We will touch on that when we talk about cons. There are also those who suffer from social anxiety. There's the No Friends Friends Club. They meet on a regular basis in a classroom environment, and they have tips and instructions on the better ways of dealing with the extremes of social anxiety. They're all there to help each other. There are even filmmaking groups, role-playing groups. The movie We Met in Virtual Reality was filmed entirely in VRChat, and there are even pole dancing organizations. Don't laugh because it's great exercise, and we have seen it in the club. Yeah. We've also heard the crunch of people falling on their ass.
Ouch,
And
my
speaking of
index.
clubs, We have founding officer from Tailbase with us today. Tailbase specializes in live streaming services. They're a coalition of international DJs, some of whom are in the audience today. They have worked with Virality and a number of cons to help set up portals like what you saw upstairs. They were principally responsible for connecting our portal to the virtual world. Ladies and gentlemen, mBlade.
Who here goes to clubs in VR? Pretty much everybody. Eh? So people don't go, right? Some people are just, they want to go sleep or game or whatever. So it's cool. But yeah, a lot of us are summers. That's what I like about it. Since I saw the first world with like a player, you put URLs in, I'm like, oh, this is so cool. You know? Yeah, no, it was cool. It's been a fantastic ride. And if you guys don't know what Tailbase is, it's just a club that I created after, literally a week after the first rally. I was doing a thing, just mBlade's Friday night party back in 2020, and putting URLs into a player, just one instance, you know, and then I started finding DJs who like to live stream, so I started organizing DJs, bringing them, and just planning that, and then I saw Dalton the Frau, he's saying, hey, I'm doing this thing, I'm like, hey, do you need a club guy to run your club? He's like, yeah. So I'm like, here we go. So I whipped up, 8 hours for 3 nights for the first rally, Fox online experience, FOX. And yeah, we came up with this whole live stream and everything. And I saw a need for a continuous, because I know for rally be every 6 months or whatever, so I wanted something more casual, so I created Tailbase and started doing stuff like that. And then I got busy. You always do, right? Projects, I got busy. So I organized Tailbase more as like a community for clubs and VR portals, because that's what I have. I created the Tailbase Tatum bot for people to friend and join off. So, I mean, who's here like friends with the Tailbase bot? Yeah, right? He's got to follow him around everywhere he goes online. His account's shared with lots of different coordinators, and he's just like the VR chat groups before they were groups, So.
Where's he going to be tonight?
Oh, yeah. I'm talking with Radcon Cat with EV here. We're going to be running a VR chat portal at the dances tonight.
Oh, nice. All right.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
Yeah, after here, we're going to be hijacking one of their projectors and set up a camera and away we go.
Outstanding.
Depending if internet works okay there, it'll be Wi-Fi, so I haven't tested that
Yep.
yet. But that is the goal for tonight.
By the way, if
Yes.
you want to log in an instance quickly, Doghouse is running right now today.
Oh, are they?
Well, yeah,
Okay.
it's going on until midnight.
To midnight today?
Yeah, until midnight today.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Well, the plan was to use the Cave World, but the Tailbase Cave World, we're just gonna broadcast like the stream in.
Okay.
But that's still stuff to change right now. Just, I think I'm gonna do an actual portal.
Or second instance that we're running the Tailbase. The second instance is the Tailbase too.
Yeah. Yeah, we can tie in. We can talk about that later. We can tie in with Doghouse. That'd be pretty awesome. I didn't realize they're right tonight, so yeah.
Quick timing.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
Quick question for you.
Yeah.
How many friends would you say the Tailbase bot has friended at this time?
Well, I'll be looking at it all day today, so we are just shy of 1,700 friends. Yeah. Almost as many as me, actually.
There you go.
That's how you do it in VR chat. Like I just got in, and I'm like, oh, you're a cool furry, let's be friends. Oh, you're cool, let's be friends. And I just keep going, and
That's how quickly it happens. The furry the furry raving scene alone is massive. There are dozens of club worlds out there, dozens of club organizations out there. They're very friendly, they're very supportive. The clubs can get packed fast and they can get resource intensive. There are groups like Club Orion with the Orion Music Festival, Club Ambience, Miami Vice, Dance Dance VR, Vibe Night, Hex Furry Fest, Placeholder Club, Doghouse Rave, of course. And speaking of which, there are a number of people that we have here from those organizations and from these worlds. Doghouse Rave being one of the newest scenes on the floor to hit the raving scene. One of the founding officers, Mr. Kane Wolf. Danny Wolf, are you here? Oh, he couldn't make it?
No, he's probably outside
Are they? What? I thought the census was full. Where's the second one? You're supposed to launch the second one.
Somebody didn't put their status on the warrant.
I'm sorry, people keep sending me join requests, I just press yes. Yeah.
Back in 2021, when Vernal Equinox went virtual, which is what enlightened a lot of us about Vernal Equinox, Candy Wolf played regularly at Vernal Equinox. He was one of the closing DJs, resident of Canada, and he's also playing at the Dead Dog on Sunday night. Next Furry Fest is a 3-day raving event that's typically held in the aftermath of Virality, also taking in some of the best DJs in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, Hexagon Jack. Founding officer of Hex Furry Fest. This next DJ has played at FoxCon, Vibe Night, and is also a member of his local university's furry organization and was recently featured in his state's newspaper. Just call him Letty. No, ladies and gentlemen, just call me Letty. This next DJ, I've had the privilege of following for at least 2 years. He has played pretty much everywhere. Yes. FoxCon, Vibe Night, Hex Furry Fest, Fur Locker, and Virality not once, but twice. Ladies and gentlemen, Quebec's own, the best Shiba DJ in the world, DJ Anya! Rocking his fursuit for the first time, yes?
Yes.
Yes?
Oh, yeah?
Looks good on you. As we mentioned, we all know what happened February 2020. We all know what 2020 was like. We saw a lot of cons cancel. We saw some conventions close their doors. Rest in peace for Urban United. And then a lot of these organizations started discovering VR chat. And once Virality answered the question of whether VR chat could support a furry convention, a lot of them started migrating. COVID-19 brought us a lot of virtual conventions. Everything from Philadelphia to Vernal Equinox itself went virtual in 2021, completely reconstructing the Western Harbor Castle lobby in amazing detail. Eurofurence, Anthrocon, furthermore, Anthro Expo, the Oklahoma Con, Texas Furry Fiesta, Biggest Little Fur Con, Anthro Northwest, and even Con Fur in Mexico. Vancouver as well. Confer even hosted what's called an ofrenda. It is a pyramid of trinkets and memorials left behind at grave sites. They also had rings of grave markers you could activate, which honored those of the fandom who have passed on. So VRChat has become a place for conventions to also promote themselves, like CozyCon, which is Vernal Equinox's virtual partner, also based in Canada, a 2 or 3 day event that will honor all fandoms. Everybody from anime, furry fandom, to those who love playing video games. You can see panels on Twitch, on Discord, Telegram, and the like. So VRChat has become a crux that a lot of conventions will use to support their operations. It also serves the benefit of introducing people to what a convention might be like before they graduate to an in-person convention. Now, I know we talked about Virality. I know some of us are wearing the Virality shirts. Who here does not know what Virality is or has never been to one of their conventions? All right, so you're about to get an indication. But before I begin, how many here are part of the Virality staff? Wow. These are the people that deserve all the praise for becoming the biggest furry convention group, period. In May of 2020, with the world shutting itself down, Virality Online Experience established itself and asked, could VRChat support a furry convention? 5 conventions and 1 mini event later, that question has been answered with a resounding yes. All the worlds are built in striking detail, beautifully done, all from the ground up, and available only for a limited time, for the duration of that convention. Then they will disappear. Virality hosts everything that an in-person convention has. A custom-built dealer's den, an artist gallery, real-world swag, shirts, posters, scented sprays. Please do not ingest. They did have pineapple glasses for a time during the second convention. I do remember that. They've also promoted themselves at in-person conventions with actual tables in dealers' dens and virtual dealers' dens. Their staff numbers over 170 volunteers. $15 gets you in for a weekend. Uncle Kage and both Whiskey Dingo served as guests of honor at these conventions. It's the biggest convention.
I don't think he's guest of honor. We have him as a panel.
What? Kage? No, he was guest of honor at the first one. The very first one.
Well, I have him as a panel. I brought him as a panelist. He's actually a very first panelist.
Wiki for Ron. By the way.
Wiki for Ron? Never.
So be it. One day. One day. Yeah. So, biggest convention was Virality Aqua, June 2022. 15,079 people attended that convention over the course of the weekend, with I think at least 4,000 at peak at any one time. The mini event that was recently held in February was the Luma Festival, essentially like a film festival of dancers, ravers, panelists, and like, including Gudalin, who gave us an amazing full-body tracking performance. That event alone had over 11,000 people. Also, as a charity organization, they donate to charities. They donate to the Save a Fox Rescue Group. Who here's seen Finnegan Fox on YouTube? That's the Save a Fox Rescue Group that they support. Virality Aqua raked in over $22,000. Previous two conventions, Luma and Legends, raked in $14,000 each. Ever since day one, Virality has been just blowing the doors off the social and the technological envelope. And in particular, this shot here was taken from Texel Sar's panel on how to set up a portal. That is a capture from Furry Weekend Atlanta 2022. On the left is an attendee at the in-person convention. He is having a conversation with this Tatum right here using sign language. Again, speaking to the power of this platform that we have built from the ground up. Silas Saylor recently commented on the power and the success of the Virality online experience. And regardless of the opinion of whether or not Virality is a real convention, just because it's virtual, it cannot be denied that Virality has made its mark on the fandom in an incredible way and has opened doors to what is only possible. The future is ours. Whatever we can create, whatever we can think of, we will do with the the tools at our disposal because of everybody in this room.
I just want to say, if it wasn't for mBlade bringing me on to DJ for the first Virality, I wouldn't have the confidence to play for any other clubs. Yeah. So thanks, mBlade.
As we mentioned before, VRChat has given us the opportunity to continue being sociable with one another. It has promoted various conventions from all over the world. It stimulated the furry economy. You can make some decent money if your skills are developed building an avatar or building a world from the ground up. They can go from anywhere between $40 or upwards of $1,000 based on the level of movement and the rigging and the texture quality and animations and the like. If your skills are developed, it'll be your side job. Also, in the event that you become quarantined because of COVID-19, you can still see your friends in VRChat. You can still get out of your house, in a sense. VRChat has allowed us to break through what would otherwise confine us. It's kept us busy, it's kept us active, engaged, and it has kept us together in times of crisis. And while virtual events are great, VRChat will never truly, fully replace an in-person convention, because what's better than being able to do this? See you, man. First time meeting this gentleman ever. First time meeting Amiat. First time meeting Letty. Yo. First time meeting a lot of people that we've all interacted with in VRChat over the last 2 years.
Time check, we're at 45 minutes.
Roger. So, there was a comment about the issue with mods from last year. There are those who might say that people are packing up and leaving VRChat. That is not the case. What happened was VRChat made a partnership with the Easy Anti-Cheat program. But at the same time, they disallowed the use of any and all mods to their client. Mods that would help those with access issues, those with disabilities, those with other challenges. All of those were restricted. So there was a massive protest. There were over a couple thousand negative reviews of VRChat in the course of a weekend. Then people started leaving and going to chill out or Neos VR. Then they started to realize that those platforms don't have anywhere near the development level or participation level that VRChat was, and now they've begun to come back. Regardless, VRChat has felt our rage, and they have started pushing out updates to better cater to helping those with disabilities and challenges and helping to improve their platform. Also, those that are developing the Unreal Engine have started to realize the power of virtual reality. They are now training doctors to perform complex surgeries in VR. There are car development groups that are building whole engines in virtual reality. No longer having to go over what the project looks like on a PowerPoint presentation, the engineers can now put the headsets on in VR and see that engine in all of its glory and all of its detail in real time right in front of them. You work in...
I work in heavy industrial as a pipe fitter. And so we have a model station that can view the plant to see how it's built. And they also have VR headsets that they can put on and actually walk through the plant and check it out. So yeah, it's pretty neat what they can do there, right?
Future of troubleshooting, maybe in virtual reality.
You can take them out to the field and just put it on, an empty rack and go, oh, okay, that's what I feel.
But other than that, questions? Yes?
I was gonna say, like, I work as an environment artist professionally, and something that I've done for clients is they wanted a prop to be moved, so in VR, I literally walked up, picked up the prop, moved it, and it said, that's perfect. I didn't have to go mess around with my keyboard, I just picked it up and moved it. And it was great.
Seeing is believing. Yeah.
Anybody else have like prosumer uses for VR, like in your work? Or, 'cause I'm very curious, like how much you can do.
Well, advertising like talents, like music, for me, music is in VR as well.
Oh yeah.
Like, I'm a cellist for the next few compositions coming up from the next reality as well. And that stuff is like being able to have new ways of being able to use vectors like around structuring arts just to be able to perform whilst in VR with objects made in VR as well.
That's great. Yeah.
Using Glycon and motion capture stuff, put in the blender, so you can have motion capture in blender kind of cheatingly.
Yeah. If it gets the job done. Yeah.
Still in super early development, but I work for an AI company that is currently partnering with some brands or possible brands for headsets in VR, so that way you can have an AI assistant you can talk to in your headset for things like building engines and things, and you need, you're working with your hands in VR and you need to speak and get help.
Hey, yo, Jarvis.
Pretty much.
Jarvis?
Yeah.
Josh.
Josh.
When I get my full body, I'm going to start teaching dance in VR.
There you go.
Oh.
We should talk.
Yeah. Power of the platform.
Yeah.
Power to bring people together and the whole classes in VR, regardless of anything that gets in the way. Yeah.
Actually being able to teach people how to film with the VR as well. That's a really big one, like making shows, like for instance, recent upcoming one is the Queen Crew. That's a new one. Okay. And like the Shiba assassination movie, that's something new as well. Yeah.
I'll throw one in as well. Not only is so the improv groups here, we also host improv groups in VR. Do workshops, teach people. We teach people social skills. Sometimes we partner with the Antisocial Social Club to do stuff with them. So it's everything.
Yeah.
Actually, as a member of the cleanup crew,
Hey.
we're using both full body and facial and eye tracking to animate the characters for us for filming in the show. We're having a really good time doing it.
Yeah.
The big one is
How's it going?
certainly photography, dynamic photography, lighting, everything, staging. So easy to do live in VR. You just grab a light and move it. Everything full picture.
Speaking of VR chat and the
Cinemachine.
conventions that have roamed through it, if anybody has any questions about the getup that I've got here, I was born out of VR chat as well. I am cosplaying Badgie, the unofficial mascot from the virtual Frontal Equinox Convention of 2021, also partly built by Lilith. It is an avatar made of
I am so
nothing
sorry.
but attendee badges. This is also taken way too far.
Badgie is my precious child, but I'm also so
Child
sorry.
indeed, that used to have a lightsaber and a Rubik's Cube that would throw at people. Great. Other than that, welcome to our meet and greet. If you have any other questions, please come on up and ask. Yeah, go ahead.
If you want to talk about jokes going too far, mBlade started the whole DJ Blue Bins thing.
Okay, this I gotta get.
So,
come on, buddy.
You know, when Jack was starting off, he had like these two blue storage bins he put his decks on.
Because I didn't have a table.
I'm always funny on
was
OBS,
for
you
text
know. If you see me during a portal, I'm always messing around doing silly stuff. And I was like, hey, I'm like, DJ Blue Bins.
Now I get it. Now I get it.
Yeah.
But yeah, by all means, come on in. Meet your fellow players in virtual reality. Virtual reality, what have you. Come on in. Come on in. Feel free.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know if you recognize that from the face chat.
Oh, yeah, awesome. Cool to meet you.
Ow.
It hurts. You've been sitting here uncomfortably.
Hey, you want a sticker?
Yeah, please. I've not made any, so I'm sorry I don't have anything to give you back.
It's all good.
That's awesome. I've got a sticker. Yay, sticker.
There's also stuff on the back if you want.
Oh, cool.
Sorry, no, I'm away from you.
Careful.
I think I might have broken a chair.
Hello, do you have a link table here?
It's upstairs still. I'm on the 33rd floor, so I can't get it yet.
Do you think you might be able to get it before the next VR portal?
That was the last one today. But there's, you mean the dance club? Yeah, I can.
Alright. So I still want to try doing both at the same time.
Yeah, sure.
Alright. Thank you so much. It's just like, I kept my link table in like a drawer somewhere, and it was folded up for a long time, and it wasn't built well. It started
so
having,
it's like all messed up?
yeah, it started having these like holes inside of it, so like, it kept disconnected.
That's still recording, by the way. During the side of your head. That's cool.
Yeah, my driver's not here.
I think they're now like the biggest turnaround. Make sure you protest to Frontal Equinox. We want You seem to know who I am. I'll see you around. Really? Oh, really?
Righty tighty, lefty loosey. Undo, undo. Jack, you just kicked ass on a panel. Now what are you going to do with your life? I'm going to Disneyland. No, it's an old commercial.
I am going to play the big dubstep event, Lost Lands.
Heck yeah!
I hope to get there.
Yeah. Elliot, good to meet you.
Yeah, me too.
The DJs finally meet up.
I love those little fans. That's awesome. What up?
Qu'est-ce que ça passe de rien?
Qu'est-ce qui se passe?
Not much.
Cool.
Just talking about Doghouse and how it started and pretty much how we got together to create this, and after that how we went from 2 weeks to a month because it was way too much trouble to do it like or schedule like DJs every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's pretty much it. Just resuming how it all started.
That's so badass. I love it. So many cool people in one room.
It is overwhelming to see that many people that play the set and that knows the scene and everything. It's special.
It's pretty cool.
All right, who is ready for the big fursuit photo? Well, the big group, wait a minute. Who's ready for the big group shot? Yeah! All right.
Big group
What?
shot.
Let's see. Let's see.
Hi, Lilith.
There you go. Hey, you can mount that to the tripod, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you set a photo for timer? Can you set a photo for like timer and then be able to race back into the line?
I don't know, maybe.
Okay. All right. We'd have to get in the back wall and put the tripod over here. All right.
Sure.
Can we have everybody start filtering towards the back walls, please, and look towards the screen?
That's a bad plan if you want me to have the tripod.
Stop it too.
Hey. What you got going on?
Vibing out for today. We play tomorrow night, 6 p.m. We're gonna be bringing out some fresh, funky, fresh beats for y'all. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be awesome. May pull some songs from other people, but it's gonna be clean. It's gonna be good. It's gonna have some fun.
Nice. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Will I be able to be seen? I'm a short guy.
I am going this way.
Portable personal light picks with a big table that you dry out and you have spotlight.
So I'm going to stop rolling the video.
Huh?
I'm going to stop rolling the video because I want a picture.
Yep.